that range card.
Yeah, exactly.
If you get like any kind of water presence with 2 or 3 mortars with that card, there's just no way your opponent can do anything. As long as you spread your mortars out enough to not get wrecked by monitors. But this is just a lag test, if I read everything correctly.
Yep.
So we're just making sure that the players feel they are comfortable with this. I already found your tapier. Actually, no, it's my tapier.
Oh, where did you find it? Don't know where they are.
It's right here.
Oh, gotta wait for the game to start to see a flare.
Oh, it's in the top right. There's like 1 brown speck amongst the fish.
Oh, that's.
But now it disappeared because obviously the game loaded in.
Darn it! I remember. So there's a UI Honshu map, right? In which the spectators each control a flying taper. It's so fun. It's so enjoyable. I really like it.
Doesn't it make like this super awkward zooming noise?
Oh, definitely. It's like a fly or a bee. It's kind of swimming around your head. But I mean, it's a flying taper that like shoots out rainbows when it flies. I mean, it's really good.
And Japan is doing the very standard cherry orchard rush here.
Yes.
We're going to need to see how well he can micro these to tank TC fire while the villagers siege the TP.
Right. This is a really underutilized strategy, but
oh yeah, for sure.
Exciting to see nonetheless. In fact,
he's actually pulling 1 back. I guess he wants to have some eco behind his rush.
I guess so. You almost think if you should not do this because it's giving away a strategy for the real game, but
for sure. But anyway, let's get on with the real game now.
Let's actually play.
What's the second and third map in this pool? Or is it actually a best of 5 now? I don't think it is, right?
No, it's still a best of 3. So the maps are Aerodonix, Cascade Range, and Baja, California.
I actually got baited by Mr. ATAP into joining his game instead.
I clicked accept as well. He must be targeting us.
So, Mr. Gibson, that's not very polite of you.
Oh yeah, I forgot Gibson is sometimes on that account now.
Yeah, I think it used to be Dalias, but...
I cannot keep track of Gibson and all of his Smurf accounts. That's insane.
Players just trading accounts.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that Carrot is not going to play Japan into Iroquois, but we're going to need to see. Yeah.
France.
I probably wouldn't click in Japan against Iroquois as well. Well, I would, because Japan is the only stuff I play, but I wouldn't be happy about it.
Yemshi might switch here, though, I think.
Yeah, I don't think she wants to play Iroquois into French. Although French did get nerfed in the current patch, and the dance begins.
Oh, okay. I might already get an admin up on Skype here real quick.
Yeah, let's just... Oh, actually no, Yemshi is like, okay, you don't want to play against Iroquois? I'll suggest something else. He's being nice here. How about Spain?
Alright. So this is actually the same Civ matchup we had in the very last game between...
Except that this map has TPs.
Yes, it does have TPs. It also has fish. Let's see if people do that.
Also, I think Garrett's strategy of forward cherry orchards might not be ideal in this matchup. I hope he places them behind his TC.
I hope so as well.
By the way, have you found the taper now? They're right here.
I see them now, yep.
I can't find yours, I can only find mine. Oh, I found yours, never mind. It's like right here
I
somewhere.
got both of them.
I had it.
IGC target.
Anyway, it disappeared. We were playing too much with them. They're like, nope, we're gone. So anyway, this is the round of 64. Mr. Carrot in the right side of the map playing Japan against Yemshi on the left side of the map playing Spain.
Yeah, this is an exciting game because the winner of this will advance to the round of 32, which is a pretty prestigious spot in any ESOC tournament. So a lot of stakes here.
Being quite lucky here, it's a 300 wood start. It's also really good for Spain though because boom.
Yeah, so Spain is looking to build this middle one. Perhaps if they build this one first, they will get their XP shipment a little earlier, but
I
like I
actually like
said
this TP
before,
placement. By getting this one, he can assure that if he wants to go for the other one, it's harder for Japan to steal it.
that's true. That's very true.
I wouldn't be surprised to see advanced, well, maybe not advanced TP, it's probably not worth it on this map, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a TP-centric strategy for Spain here. Ooh, and he's actually positioning himself over this 70 food treasure. I think
Yeah.
Japan saw it though, and it's like,
Yep.
nope, I'm
Getting out of there.
something else.
So yeah, I would like to see actually another trading post chopped in transition from Yemshi here,
Yeah, TPs are just so good.
definitely, and
He's actually
especially
going
for
for a
Spain.
scout here, which I do like. He has the Warlock and the native scout now. If he catches any of these monks, he's gonna put up a lot of pressure.
Yeah, anytime you can get those sort of Age 1 unit treasures and just harass Japan's monks across the map, it can be really nice.
Both players actually having Asian symbols on their explorer names. I think Yemshi is Chinese? Maybe the symbols at least?
I couldn't tell you.
I'm pretty sure the Japan monks are actually Japanese symbols.
Okay, I was gonna guess Yemshi's was Japanese and Adrian's were Mandarin. I have no idea though. Not my
I can
place,
recognize
though.
Korean, kind of, but...
Oh, I forgot. That could be Korean, maybe.
No,
Maybe someone else knows.
Korean has a lot more, like, circly things on sticks, usually.
Oh, okay. That's a very good way to put it.
No, I think the Japanese monk names are Japanese. They tend to have, like, swirly stuff. Yeah, I like this Toshugo placement a lot more than the one in the previous game. Oh, and this is rotated, of course. Oh, well.
What is... Oh, the
Technically
building
speaking,
rotated.
it's, like, not allowed, but...
I thought it... I mean, it's integrated into the EP launcher. I thought maybe it
Yeah,
was allowed.
personally, I think it's kind of bullcrap that it's not allowed. I mean, it's actually in the patch launcher with like a big check mark, like, "Hey, do you want this?"
I mean, it from an outside point of view, you might say it's kind of BS to not have it allowed. But then you play against
But
Russia
hey,
with 2 forward rotated blockhouses, and you can't push into that position at all, and it becomes really frustrating.
Japan actually aged up before Spain here somehow. I think we might have missed like a treasure or something, or maybe just Spain aging up late. 16 villagers. I don't know. Is that standard?
Maybe the age of Bill late because he went for the early TP and he did chop some wood.
He might have been idled. That's true.
Yeah. I don't think he over chopped wood though at the start, so I think it's a normal age up.
Maybe Japan just like really aged up quickly. Let's take a look. There's only one villager on the wonder. Never mind. I
Yeah,
don't
and
see the decks
standard
for some
shipments.
reason. Ah, there we go. Well, he does actually have advanced TP in his deck. I don't really like it on this map.
Yeah, it's possible it just might be in his default deck.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it still gives them the attack and the hit points, so it's not completely worthless. And it's definitely a fast fortress. Just look at his deck. He
Yeah.
has 2 unit shipments in H2. He doesn't even have the bow shipment.
And he's not chopping for another TP here. He's stockpiling 173 wood, which I wonder he'll put to use maybe a market and hunting bugs? I don't know.
I think it might be like him shipping advanced TP at some point and getting a TP with it, maybe. And then he has some spare wood for something. Yeah, he's actually just getting the TP, never mind, so he's not going to send advanced
he
TP
picked
to
up a
save
wood
it.
treasure, so that was smart macro by him. I don't know if he must have scouted the wood treasure beforehand, so I like that out of Yemshi.
Yeah.
And here comes the tower.
And the Japanese explorer actually being in position to at least delay this.
Yeah, he can at least scout it.
Oh wow, he actually forced it to be placed defensive. That's really huge. This is so good for Japan actually. For some of the newer people maybe not familiar with this matchup, Spain wants this tower to be like... Oh, by the way, I just had to really point out that there are some barracks here, but...
yeah,
Spain wants that tower to be like maybe here or something, so that when he goes to fortress, those 2 falconets can appear at this tower and don't need to march all the way across the map. But because the tower is here now, these falconets are going to have to walk a long distance once Spain reaches fortress. And Japan is actually playing quite proactive, and I do like this.
Yeah, I think Japan's game plan here from the start was to scout the tower, get Ashes out in time to be able to siege it down. So although I don't really like such a defensive outpost, since the explorers can't take out the outpost wagon, I would have liked to seen it more forward, but if he would have done that, it might have just been sieged down by Ashes before
He's
it could
actually
have
shipping
been built.
5 Ash twice.
Ooh, this is not something you expect out of Japan when you're
No.
playing Spain.
This
Not at all.
second 5 Ash shipment I don't like quite as much.
It might work though. I mean, okay, Yemshi is aging here, so maybe maybe it won't work. But Spain takes a long time to age. He can siege his TP and apply a lot of pressure in Spain's base. I don't know. We'll see how it works.
The problem is he's only at 80 Shrine Bob. He has no wood, only a single barracks, and
Yeah,
it's going to be difficult for him to. He even has the Japan consulate. Like he has
like
no
this.
market. This is an all-in play from Japan.
Yeah, this is very all in. I like this initial wall here from Spain, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. I mean, the settler dies before it can really do too much.
Well, it does a little bit. The Ashigaru have to walk around a bit to get to the things that matter.
So now, when you're Spain here, you have to think smart base defending. You have to queue this town center so you're not overkilling the Ashes. You should use your explorer and your Iroquois Tomahawk to pick off low HP ones. Maybe train some dogs. It's a very difficult thing to do.
Yeah, and like very important here again about this tower. Now that it's placed in such a defensive position, the Spain player does not have a single shipment point that is not under pressure from Japan.
Yeah.
So he cannot ship any kind of Falconet shipment now once he reaches Fortress. He will need to ship something like the Lancers, maybe the Pike. But yeah,
And,
it's probably not that bad because shipping Lancers here is like totally viable.
I mean,
He's
he
actually
doesn't
forced
even...
to ship the 8 Pike.
Oh, this is bad. This
That
is
is
just a bad
really good for
shipment.
Japan, forcing another H2 shipment here.
I mean, Spain did sneak a bill back here, but he's capped. He can't even send a shipment if he wanted to.
Yeah.
And now more pikemen coming
Japan
out.
very smartly sieging down the house instead of trying to right-click this DC, and this is such good play from Mr. Carrot.
Exactly. I think AdrianCarrot is,
And Clip in cover mode as well, just
yeah.
soaking like 2 DC shots or whatever it was.
I think Spain is just trying to buy enough time with those pikemen in order to get houses up and a shipment sent.
Yeah, he does have a wood grade remaining here, so he does have enough to build one more house, which will allow him to get some units. He actually has a couple queued up already, so he is reasonably fine in population space. But if Japan like ever spots this, that is 5 houses that he can siege
Yeah.
without
And I'd almost-
DC harassment.
I almost wonder if Spain shouldn't ship a daimyo or some other way to get a cavalry presence on the field, since skirmishers
He
are really
can't
the
fight
only
that.
thing that Spain can.
I do
Can
like though, he
save
sent
him.
600 wood, he made a market, he's getting market upgrades behind us, he's also establishing a stable. Just
Yeah,
that,
okay,
that
the
600
stable,
wood
that's
shipment
good.
was very needed. He needed some more infrastructure, and that 600 wood allows him to do that. Also getting a couple more shrines in the middle of the map, just boosting his eco a little bit. He's actually very far ahead in eco from the Spain player, just because of how long Spain was idled and the fact that there's no market for Spain. But the problem is Spain
Yeah.
is H3 and can just sustain itself with extra shipments. I do like that he's trying to take down this TP to slow down Spain a bit. Because
you have
he
to-
knows that Spain is reliant on shipment at the moment. Going in
Ah,
melee mode against these
He
Lancers,
doesn't have enough to push into this. This is a bad fight for Spain.
for sure. Like, the Lancers are incredibly good against Ashigarus, but I mean, when it's like 20 Ashigarus against 5 Lancers, that doesn't matter. He just
Yeah, this
lost
was a
his
mistake.
most impactful shipment that he
I
can
mean-
really hope to send.
Spain had just sent another shipment too, so I would have liked to really waited for that second shipment to come and another batch of 5 skirms before he pushed.
Sure, like, I understand why he wants to protect his TP, it's really important for him, but he just lost one of his most impactful shipments. The
Yeah.
5 Lancers is so good against Japan. They have a really rough time dealing with it in H2.
And now
Even
the
in
military.
Fortress, actually, they have a rough time dealing with it.
Yeah. And Nagi's hit the floor. There's not much Spain can do from here.
Yeah, Ashi are actually pretty bad against Gav. And there we go, Yamshi resigns. That was really good play from Carrot there.
Yeah, I really like that build. It's not something you ever expect from Spain going 5
that
Ashy, 5
aggressive.
Ashy.
Yeah. I
It's
personally
crazy.
don't like the second 5 Ashy shipment. I would have liked the 600 wood first. Because you were expecting probably a fortress play from the Spain player, but I can see why he did it. It allowed him to get a lot of pressure out.
Yeah, definitely. I think we can call that non-standard from the Japan player, and it worked
Oh, for
out.
sure. So yeah, game 1 goes to Carrot.
Oh, this is
But yeah, those double unit shipments as your first in H2 as Japan are just... They are so dangerous. If that doesn't go well, you have no market, you have no second production facility, you have very few shrines. It's incredibly risky. Oh, it
yeah,
seems we actually
I agree.
have... I don't have this map. Interesting.
Cascade Range.
Mm,
This
that's
is a water
strange.
map, right?
That-
No, I'm thinking of Baja. No, wait. Oh, I always get these two maps confused, and they're both in the map pool, which is even more confusing. Yeah, we can start it up here real quick.
This is the map with like all the berries and the 2 small ponds of water, right?
I'm not sure. So I think, oh, I'm trying to, this is, yeah, the map with very little hunts and all the berries. I'm pretty sure.
This was in the starvation pool, that I know.
Yeah. It's an interesting map. It sort of prompts aggressive sort of map control type gameplay, I feel. Especially because the middle of the map is so narrow, such a, like, this narrow choke. I think civs like Russia, Aztec, something like that would be good.
Yeah, for sure. Let's take a look where the tapers are. Oh, found them! No, they're gone. Damn. Rip tapers. So yeah, both players know the map now.
Alright. Let's see, what time is it? 2:30. Awesome.
Seems some people are rooting for Mr. Carrot. There is even a lobby with his name right now.
Must have quite the fan base here. I do like his name.
I do enjoy carrots. They're pretty delicious.
Carrots are good. They're good for your eyes as well.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
pretty
eat
sure
enough
that's not true,
carrots.
but okay.
I think it's just sort of like a vitamin C thing or something. I don't really know. But nonetheless, I thought, I mean, it says he's a first lieutenant on ESO. Maybe that's Decade. I don't know his ELO. But he played
I think he
quite
plays better
good.
than a first lieutenant because
Oh,
I'm
yes.
kind of a first lieutenant, so... Although Yokpasa claims I'm at least captain.
Hey, there you go. That's, that's what counts.
Although that was like, I think a year ago, and I haven't really played since then.
I suffer that same bug too, where I play on form and I get sort of warmed up and then I stop playing.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
okay. I looked up AdrianCarrot's ELO. He's got a max 1v1 of 2500, which is good. Quite good, really. It puts him up there with the best of them. So
I think that game that I played against Yokpasa, where he said that, is probably the best game I have ever played in my life. Like, I don't think I ever played that smoothly.
that's always a good feeling.
Yeah, so it seems Carrot is be right back for a minute. That means I'm gonna go get a drink. So who do you think is favored in this matchup?
Let's see. It's tough because these two civs are almost unanimously considered the two best civs on this version of ePatch or ESOC patch. I think maybe Dutch is favored on this map because Dutch is a civ that doesn't require a whole lot of hunts, and Cascade Range is notorious for low hunts, whereas Portuguese use a lot of hunts. So I think in this particular map and matchup, I would hand it to yemshi, but AdrianCarrot looked quite strong in the last game, and I wouldn't be surprised if he pulls it off.
That's interesting though. Like, I would have actually thought that Portuguese have pretty good advantage on this map, because with the TCs they get, they can actually control their half of the map relatively easy. The middle choke is really, really thin, together with the TC from going to Colonial and the one from the almost for sure fortress. They can pretty much completely seal off that choke.
Yeah, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw an aggressive Portuguese strat here out of Adrian. We saw him play very aggressively with Japan, so I would not put it out of the question. And the ports have some interesting options for very aggressive H2 play.
For sure, I think a lot of people are familiar, of course, with the Ace 10 and oh, my Age of Empires actually crashed some, I think. Wait, no, it's back. I don't know what happened. Am I still in the game for you?
The game hasn't started yet, but it says you're here.
I'm not dropping or something at the moment.
We'll wait just a little bit for it to officially start, I guess, for the villagers to start moving.
Yeah, I'm in the game currently, so...
Alright.
Yeah. Okay, my computer told me that Age of Empires stopped working, so...
Interesting.
I'm going to assume that my computer is lying to me now.
Could be. It could be he just is listening to the stream, and I don't know.
Maybe it's because of the awkward delay there is during the loading of the game that my computer gets confused, I don't know.
That could be.
But it seems to be fine, so hopefully I don't crash in the middle of the game somewhere.
Fingers crossed here. I'll knock on wood for you. But is that is knock on wood sort of something that other countries do? I don't know. Is a way to prevent a jinx? Have you heard that phrase before?
I don't know about Belgium, but I know there isn't like the literal Dutch saying of knocking on wood. That would be like kloppen op hout, and that's not a thing.
Okay.
I don't know if they do the knocking on wood thing, though they might.
I don't know where it originates, but yeah, here, if you don't want to jinx something, you knock on wood when you say it. So I hope you don't crash.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
And Portuguese is actually starting with a market here. I like that quite a bit. Markets are always great. Hunting dogs, nice.
Yeah, it must have been wood start. Probably. And then, yeah, like there are a lot of small coin treasures on this map, so that's good for getting hunting dogs. And with a house and a market, I don't believe Portuguese is going to do anything all-in rush. He could still be aggressive, but it's not going to be like an 11 or 13 bill age up. Well, I guess 13 is standard, so never mind.
Yeah, of course, the efficiency of hunting dogs on this map can be argued with. There is about 2 deer on the entire map, so...
Yeah, there's not a whole lot, but with the second town center, he can control another one, so I think
for sure.
It's worth it.
I actually quite like the Asian civs on this map because their civil servant upgrade path in the market actually affects berries as well, which is really nice.
Yeah.
And on this map, you are almost guaranteed to gather from berries quite extensively at some point in the game, unless it ends very quickly.
Yeah, similarly, I think European civs have the spice trade card, which allows, it's like 20% on berries, I think.
Yeah, I don't see it in the Portuguese deck, though. He does have Eco Theory, of course, which does also affect berries.
Right.
Wow, he actually has 1 mill card and 2 plantation cards, along with refrigeration and royal mint.
This is a pretty eco-centered deck. Doesn't look too anything out of the ordinary, though. We do see 600 food, which is kind of a shipment that I don't normally see. That can be good on a map like this, which is very low food, but 600 food is inherently not a very efficient shipment.
No.
So
That's pretty bad.
I don't know if we'll ever see it. Food crates in general they seem like a situational thing, right? Like they aren't good by definition of villager seconds and things like that. but they can be used to sort of hit a timing where you're building a lot of hussars, or if you just run out of hunts and just need resources fast.
For sure. By the way, look at the treasures. Like, so many small coin treasures.
Yeah, I think there's like 4 or 5 like 40 wood treasures across the map, and the rest of them are just like 10 coin, 20 coin.
The poor player actually shipped 300 wood as his first card. We'll have to see what he does with that. I assume just getting out some early infrastructure, like maybe a barracks, getting steel traps with it, you know.
Yeah,
Just some
actually,
nice stuffs.
it's not a bad shipment. I kind of like it.
For Portuguese at least, yeah.
Yeah, because they don't have a 3 villager shipment. But personally, I kind of like to save 2 shipments for age 2. But I don't know. We'll see how it works out. I think Adrian is a better player than me, and it seems like he has a plan in mind.
I feel like not sending a card in age 1 just... it kind of messes with your tempo. Although in the case of this 200 wood shipment on a map with no TPs, it's kind of awkward. Like, he used about 100 of it. So, if he doesn't use that wood before he gets to Colonial, or very early into Colonial, it's really awkward for him.
Yeah.
Because then he might as well just send the Colonial card, and this Envoy is probably gonna die here.
Yeah, that's actually a nice pickup for Adrian here, because it can't scout anything funky that Adrian decides to do. But I think what the 300 wood in this situation is supposed to do is sort of bridge the gap, so you don't have to send 700 wood quite so early. It will give them
traps immediately on age up. I like that a lot.
I do too.
And
and just
actually.
a simple stable. So I think this is just giving him the wood for infrastructure and houses, and be able to skip 700 wood in age 2, especially because he doesn't have the trading post to supplement his experience income.
Yeah, together with 400 wood from aging, he actually has 700 wood.
Yeah,
which
and
allows
that's
him to
quite
get
good.
steel traps, a stable, and a couple houses.
And now he can just ship 700 coin and then do a unit shipment on age 3. I think he'll be good on infrastructure. And, I mean, we see an aggressive town center here, so if he just decides to ship infantry and, like, build dragoons out of the stable, for instance, he doesn't really need a wood shipment.
Dutch is actually constructing the 3rd bank, so he's going very eco-centric. He actually shipped 700 food as his H2 card, the Portuguese player.
Oh, I see that. That's interesting. But I mean, like we said, this map is very low hunt, so I can understand it. Maybe would have liked to seen 700 coin, I don't know.
There's the bank wagon. So yeah, for market upgrades, we have hunting dogs, placer mines, and steel traps for Portuguese, and only hunting dogs for Dutch.
Dutch does
we'll have to see
have
what these 5 Hussar can do here. Probably not a lot because of just how Dutch works. He just has heard it very nicely and has this nice enclosed base where his villagers are gathering very safely.
Yeah, Dutch almost needs 5 Hussar out here. If he has 4 in queue, it doesn't look like he's going to get the 5th because he just doesn't have the food. Although with
unless he
Town Center,
buys some food here.
Yeah, I mean, Town Center will pick off 1, so 4 Hussars would be enough here. A little slow, these...
He did get 5 out, he sold some food.
Oh,
or
okay.
bought some food, rather.
That's nice. Oh, but ports are making even more Hussar, so I like that move actually a lot. It seems like maybe whoever can control the Hussar war here will be able to control the maps, or the hunts on the map.
No more market upgrades coming in for either player just now. One of the Hussars actually getting caught a bit here by the Portuguese Hussar.
Yeah, you almost need Minutemen here if you're Dutch. This is... there they are.
700 wood for Portuguese being the next card of choice. Wisely pulling back the Hussars that are ensnared. Sometimes people in a situation like this will just try to fall back with all their Hussar, and you can't actually do it because some of the Hussars are snared. You need to just leave those fight and just try to do as much damage to them as possible because they are dead no matter what. Ooh, 2 barracks coming up with that 700 wood shipment.
That's really interesting. I don't know if 2 is the right number of barracks to make here, but
well, he can't fund the 2 racks and the stable at least, so...
Right, so he must be planning to transition almost entirely.
Well, these Minutemen might actually pick off this villager that's building them if he notices.
Oh, not quite.
But yeah, the Hussar is there to protect them.
So blue now with the higher Hussar count. Oh, red should maybe not engage that. There he goes running away.
And
Oh.
Dutch actually has nothing in queue besides a villager at the moment. He really wants to age up.
Yeah, and it looks like he's definitely macroing for that. And Adrian is immediately queuing Musk, so I think he's just going to go for very Musk-heavy composition and try to apply some pressure before Yemshi can age up.
Some Dutch Hussar going in for the raid here.
That's a nice raid, but also a really nice reaction from Adrian.
Oh, I actually see amalgamation for Portuguese has been researched, and Dutch finally has got steel traps. No place for mines yet for Dutch. Amalgamation, I feel like that's a lot of resources.
It definitely feels greedy. I don't know.
He did just put about 9 villagers on coin though, so amalgamation is going to get quite a bit of value here. One of Dutch villagers actually being awkwardly rallied here.
Yeah,
Getting called by the
I saw
muskets.
that. Must be, I think his town center just had the waypoint there from
Ooh, and these Hussar getting called here.
That's a nice pickup.
Yeah, although I feel like the Dutch player is microing them slightly better. But now that the musketeers are here...
Yeah. And now there's going to be no military units currently on the floor for Dutch. And now Adrian,
and Dutch
I think...
is fortress, so
is
we'll have
out.
to see if he can hold this.
But Adrian's army is
Really
not
large.
close. It's like very far away. And
Yeah, and there's also some walls going up here now.
in an artillery foundry.
I don't think he needs an artillery foundry, but...
It could just be that he recognizes he's out of hunts and is just going to go for a gold-heavy composition in the Reuter Falk.
Yeah. By the way, these walls have cost about 20 wood. So that's very nice placement of
Yeah,
those
I
walls.
like it.
For 20 wood, they cover a lot. And there's
Honestly,
some Reuters coming out.
And this Reuter, if he can get out Falks, this could be a very nice. This could be very tough for Adrian to deal with, right? Oh, and 2
There's
Falks pop out. Oh, put a Reuter in snare, please.
He doesn't need yet because these muskets are not going to run, it seems.
Yeah, they're just gonna go melee. You should maybe pull back these Reuters here, but not
I
too
think
picky.
he wants to prevent the muskets from going in melee with the Falcons. One of them has snuck by and is actually almost killing a Falcon here.
Yeah, that could be. You can kind of
Couple
mic
of the
the
right
Falks
is
back.
getting called here by the musketeers, but at
But
this point
two-
Portuguese can't push anymore. These Falconets are way too good on the defense, especially with these nicely placed walls.
Yeah, it feels like ports need to age up soon, and it feels like the timing that Adrian was kind of
This one
going for.
might actually not be finished, or maybe it just got sieged a bit.
Oh, could be. I think it might just be sieged, but the sort of must-cuts timing Adrian was going for didn't really hit at the proper time, and now Dutch is in a pretty nice spot.
Yeah, I would like to place like one more wall segment of 5 wood between that tree and the other wall segment.
Yeah. Some Musk coming in for a raid. They did not scout these villagers, which is nice for Yemshi.
Yeah, and the Falconets are putting pressure on this forward DC.
Yeah, and this is quite a lot of infrastructure for Adrian if he loses this. 2 barracks, a house, a town center, and he's also hunting up here.
Yeah, and he's actually aging. Hopefully for him, he's not actually aging at that DC. I don't think it's going to go down before the age up finishes. But I mean, if that were to happen, that would be disastrous. And there's actually a lot of villagers dying here.
Yeah, this is actually quite... Those musketeers have kind of already made up their value. And I think Yemshi was hesitant to run the Reuters just because he's afraid of... There it is, the Minutemen on the Falcons. That is so good. So good.
Yeah, Carrot playing really well this series.
Yes, that's just how... That's what we call outplaying. And it's things like that that sort of separate... I mean, you saw it. Carrot's ELO is like 2,500. And it's stuff like that that really separates him from players like you and I.
This is still a lot of Reuters though. He's gonna need to get some Cazadores and use them quickly.
Yeah.
Because there we go, they're just starting to get skirmishers out, and you can't... In the Skirm Goon mirror, you can't fall behind on skirmishers. They are the backbone of the Skirm Goon.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, Dutch is still in a good position, about even in economy, and up about 28 units in military. But I just can't stress how nice of a play that was out of AdrianCarrot here.
I feel like the board player is actually ahead quite a bit in eco, more than it seems, just because he has basic minds and amalgamation, which the Dutch player does not.
That's true. I don't know if it gets calculated and recalculated
It's not.
recalculated. It's not? Okay. Yeah, that is quite good then. Maybe you fight this if you're yemshi and just put your Reuters on top of the Cassadors. I don't know. But wow, I mean, another great play. He's saving his town center with 110 hit points left. It's just, he's really playing well right now.
At this point, I would send 1,000 wood just to repair that, but that might be greedy.
Yeah, it almost seems like that. And now he's identified where he's gathering. Dutch is officially out of his base. And putting the Explorer in snare.
And Dutch has nowhere really to hunt. Like, I guess he can hunt here a bit still because it's not scouted yet, but how long is that going to stay that way?
Yeah, he's going to lose all of these villagers, and suddenly Portuguese is up.
4 falconets, though.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to make something happen with that. Looks like he's definitely finally going to get this town center.
This DC is going down. This can't be saved.
And with 4 falconets, you have to drop back, build an artillery foundry, and build 1 or 2 culverins. There's no other way to deal with this.
I mean, there's not a lot of skirmishers, so you could, like, hope to get to kill these with dragoons, but that would cost so much. You would lose so much, unless you can get a nice flank like this, of course. And yeah, put them in hand attack. Oh, and another...
It almost seems a little hesitant,
this is just
but...
sloppy by Yemshi. These dragoons should not be allowed to go in hand with these falconets like this.
I did not think he was going to engage that. And wow, that is... I mean, each falconet represents 500 resources. That's 2,000 resources put down the drain by 8 goons in hand attack. That's not really something you can afford to do if you're going to beat a player like AdrianCarrot.
That is, of course, the weakness of falconets.
Yeah.
If you do not protect them properly, you can get absolutely destroyed by a flank like that. That's why I really dislike falconets as an offensive tool when you are on par or only slightly ahead. They are great at exploiting timings where you are just far ahead because your opponent needs to deal with them somehow. But when you are equal or only slightly ahead, these falconets are just so dangerous to go offensive with. And he's making 3 more.
Yeah, I mean, falconets are definitely a unit that is high reward. But, oh, and he's even scouted, he's gathering at this mine.
Yeah. I really do not like falconets being this offensive in this situation. He just needs to build more skirmishers, maybe some hussar. These falconets are just too difficult to protect. Mamelukes for a Portuguese player coming out. And yeah, he did finally catch these vills.
I guess Mamelukes are good against this many falcons. There are a lot of Reuters on the floor. But yeah, those goons coming in for a nice raid. And Dutch is kind of out of places to gather coin. He is in this corner for the time being.
But I mean, this explorer is slowly killing these villagers. And Dutch did get basic mines eventually, I noticed.
But Dutch is cleaning up this 2 racks infrastructure here. And this fight, this upcoming fight with the Mamelukes, I feel a little
and he did scout the Mamelukes. He knows they are there. His explorer saw them. He actually should revive his explorer. It's at full HP.
I like that Dutch is mixing in hussars. It looks like this is going to be the fight.
These falconets are in a really awkward position. If any kind of gap would come from here, this native village would completely prevent the raiders from being there in time to protect the falconets.
Yeah, and we're seeing another weakness of falconets here is that they can't... The enemy can out-kite the falconets. They can't really chase an army when it's being snared. And so, Carrot able to escape from a potentially bad fight there because of falconets.
It seems we changed the game speed to be very slow.
Oh, the classic drag box.
I'm a fan of drag boxing. I do it myself. But I do try to avoid drag boxing my artillery into my army.
Yeah.
It just slows them down to a crawl.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, look at this. Smart raid coming here.
Hear my family there. They're being a bit loud.
Oh, just a little bit. That's okay.
I'll tell them to go die in a fire or something after this, though, please.
Okay. So we got maybe a bit of a base trade action going. Yemshi sacrificing some bills and choosing to push forward.
Well, in a base race situation, the Falcons are going to win. Spoiler.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely win siege-wise, but Carrot killed a lot of bills there, and he's just been picking off bills like that with raids.
But he's been getting a lot of goons, and we might see another one of. But this time, Yamishi is a bit more ready for it wisely.
We're gonna see more. Yep, there's the Minutemen again.
Just
They're
slamming.
going in melee into the artillery. I love this.
Yamshi was just. I think it's like too much of his army to go block these dragoons.
Yeah.
The Mamelukes getting on the Falconets as well. And that's of course the problem with protecting Falconets with dragoons, or in Dutch's case, Raiders, is that Mamelukes and Hussar are just so tanky that they can most of the time still get on the Falconets. If you want to protect Falconets, you need Halberdiers. I know this sounds crazy, but Halberdiers are this massive wall of a unit that no other unit can really push into. Halberdiers you want to push away from. Falconets you want to push into. That is why protecting Falconets with Halberdiers is just so annoying for certain civs to deal with. You can't really deal with Falconets with Dragoons or Hussar if they are protected by enough Halberdiers. Because if Halberdiers get in range with Dragoons, those Dragoons are just going to get obliterated.
I would agree. I think Halbs are good at protecting cannons, but then you also have to be aware of if
that
your
Halberdiers are bad.
Yeah, I mean if your opponent makes a culverin and then you're
then you are just completely wrecked.
Yeah, then all those Halberdiers become useless, right?
They're just like standing there like, hey, look at me, I have a big pokey stick. Oh, that's a cannon. Nice.
Halberdiers are such a fun unit though, aren't they? Especially with the faster speed card and
for sure, the military
certain
reforms,
natives.
I think it's called.
Yeah, and certain natives have a infantry speed upgrade too. Like then Halberdiers are quite good and really fun.
Yeah, but it seems that AdrianCarrot is winning the series 2-0.
Yeah, some good games coming out of him, some impressive play.
These
They're fun to
Falcons
watch.
just being so awkward to be used offensively. They're such a risky unit. You really need to protect them well. They are so fragile.
Yeah.
And so unmaneuverable. I don't know if that's a word.
Yeah, immobile, slow.
Immobile. That's probably a better word.
Yeah.
And yeah, Portuguese just really using the map quite well, placing TCs on opposite side of the map, making it awkward for the Dutch player to choose location to push with these very slow Falconets. And of course, you know, Mamelukes being Mamelukes, just Reuters not being able to kill them ever before they kill the Falconets. So we will need to see if the other players are ready already. I doubt it because their game is still a